The day we found Hampton, he was in a makeshift cage pen with 30 or 40 other little piglets. It was in the middle of nowhere in horrible conditions. The day we visited was 94 degrees. These pigs had no shelter, no shade, no water, no food. There were huge bags of rotting onions and potatoes leaned against the cage that the owner was feeding them. In the middle of the pen was the smallest of the piglets. He was laying there in the mud, panting and not moving. The other pigs were rooting him and stepping on him. Poor little guy wasn't going to survive the day. My mom's the one who took us out to see the pigs that day. She's as much a part of this as John and I. And she actually talked to the guy who was responsible for these pigs. And basically his story was he was in Georgia, had a buddy who worked in a slaughterhouse. And because of the pandemic, people weren't buying pork or other meats at the time. So this slaughterhouse was dumping these live piglets into a chipper due to a surplus. So he took 30 or 40 pigs to get them out of the slaughterhouse, not to save them, but to butcher them. John's and my heart broke. After only a moment, he turned to me and he said, "You get in there and you save that piglet."
What's the matter? What's the matter? What? What's the matter? What? What? What's the matter with you? Huh?
I looked at him, and in a moment of eye contact, we understood what we were gonna do. I climbed in the fence, fought through the other herds, and picked up the baby. We jumped into the car and drove off.
What's the matter? What? Is this a temper tantrum? Is this what?
We knew nothing about pigs at the time, so we treated him like a dog. We put him on a leash and walked him with our dogs, Romeo and Miles. He had to work twice as hard, though, to keep up because he had such little legs. Instantly, he had personality. He was so curious and adventurous. He fit right in with his doggy brothers. He'd cuddle with them, sleep with them, and go on walks with them. I named him Hampton after the Tiny Toons pig, and Hampton Hamilton Pigglesworth became his full name. He changed us. We began researching everything about how to care for pigs, and most of it was for potbellies, which was helpful but not really as much for him. The rest was on how to raise pigs for meat, and that's when we started seeing videos on the meat industry. It hit us differently now. Now that we had a so-called meat pig as part of our family, the sights and sounds of hundreds of pigs being tortured and murdered, it just disturbed and sickened us. We were having our pork chops one night, the last pork chops we'd ever have, with little Hampton looking at each of us. And John finally said what we were both thinking. "I don't think we should eat pork anymore." As the months went by, he really began to grow. By 6 months, he was, about 300 pounds. By a year, he was 500, maybe a little more. We weren't sure if we could handle a 500-pound pig living inside the house. And that's when we stumbled on to Steve and Esther. They had already done what we were just starting. So I said to John, if he can do this, there's no reason we can't. We soon realized that he wasn't supposed to fit into our lives, but we had to fit into his. Our jobs, trips out, everything we did revolved around him and his eating schedule. And when we actually did leave the house, all we did was talk about him, and we couldn't wait to see him when we got back. We began sleeping on the couch in the living room with him because we didn't want him to be alone. For a while, he would fall asleep on the floor in his bed, but at 1 a.m. every night, he would wake me by rooting me and climbing into bed with me. He had to be against the back of the couch, so he was sandwiched between that and me. I'd pet him and give him kisses until we both fell asleep. The hardest time I had was when he physically got too big to fit anymore, but then I'd just go down and lay with him in his bed. He brought us so much joy and purpose. I decided I would start an Instagram page for him. I wanted to show the world this amazing creature, to show people how smart, curious, and full of life this little runt piglet was, to show that he is full of love, that he is so gentle and kind. If we could maybe get one person to see what we now see and give up on wanting to eat those beautiful souls like Hampton, we would have made a difference. So that's his story. The little runt who escaped death 3 times before he was a month old, who taught us what love really was. John and I have been together for 14 years, and we thought we knew what love was. But this love that we found with Hampton is the best love of all. You don't just get a pig's love and trust. It must be earned every day. We made him a promise that day we found him. We promised that we would always do whatever we could to keep him safe, healthy, and happy. We will always keep that promise, Baba. Thank you for allowing us to love you. And thank you to all those who have supported us in our journey. We couldn't do this without you. Always remember, kindness is king.